Hey folks, have you ever been around people that are only out for themselves? I mean, they seem like they hate everything and everybody unless it's going to benefit them. We all grew up, or some of us now work with people like this. You know, when we were in school, they didn't treat their parents right, and they talked to them like trash, and they were the kids that were always disrespectful to the teachers. Or maybe now it's they're terrible to their coworkers, or they talk about their boss behind their back and they're undermining them and telling them what a good job they could do if they were in charge, but yet these are the same people that never ever put in for that job. Or my worst is if you're self-employed, or if you're in the sales and service business and you treat your customer like garbage. You know, you come there basically when you feel like it, and you're acting like you're doing them the favor. That's just ridiculous to me. But these are the people that act like they are doing you a favor just by acknowledging you. My personal favorite, and we live in a small community here, but like when you're at Walmart or you're at a community event and you see somebody and they look right at you and you're like, hey, and they just keep looking at you and walking by. But the next time you're somewhere, if you're talking to one of their friends, they come up and they're just, oh, hey, you doing? And all that. And they're your best friend ever. That drives me crazy, because that tells me when it's just me, they don't have enough respect to even acknowledge me. But if I'm around their little world, oh, it's fine then. But somewhere down the line, I think as a people, we have lost basic respect for each other. Many of our young people, teens and young adults, they have absolutely no idea how to show proper respect or what proper respect is. Now, it is real easy, I'll admit, for us to blame the interweb and video games and cell phones or whatever, but really, it's our job as parents, adults, and mentors to teach them about respect, because respect begins at home. You know, we need to teach them respect for their elders. We need to teach them respect for authority figures. We need to teach them respect for other people's feelings. Now, I'm going to pause right here when I say other people's feelings. I can disagree with you. I can disagree with you politically, religiously, or whatever. I can disagree with you, but I can still respect your opinion. It doesn't mean at the end of the day that I'm on your side and you're on my side about that one item or two items or whatever. But I can respect it. So by respecting other people's feelings doesn't mean we have to agree with them. But we need to move on. So we need to respect our country. We need to respect our founders. We need to respect our country's leadership. We need to respect our flag. We need to respect our military, active and veterans, because those are the people that have sacrificed and given the sacrifice and been willing to sacrifice so we can have the benefits and the life that we have today. But respect is a funny thing, because it cannot be demanded. I cannot demand you to respect me. You cannot demand me to respect you. The funny thing is, I will never, ever respect you until you do something respectful and I see it. You know, you can tell me you're going to do anything you want to do. You can tell me you're going to do something to help me. You can tell me you're going to do something for me. You can tell me you're going to do something, but until you do it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't count. I could tell you I'm a brain surgeon, but I'll guarantee you when it come right down to it, you wouldn't want me cutting on your noggin. But there's something that I've done my best my whole life, and Deanna has helped so much, and she's done her best too, don't get me wrong, with our son, who's nearly 20 years old. But if I'm around or she's around and he slips up at nearly 20 years old, I will still remind him, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, no, ma'am, no, sir, please, and thank you. You know, maybe it's a southern thing and maybe it's not, but one thing I noticed as I traveled, and we used to live in South Georgia for a little while, but once you get in the southern part of Mississippi, the southern part of Georgia, the southern part of Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, if a person's younger than you, they would call me Mr. Drew down there. They didn't call me Mr. Barrett, Mr. Drew. They called Deanna Miss Deanna. And it was just a sign of respect. And I'll guarantee you, all those kids, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, no, ma'am, please and thank you, because it was just the way it is, and it still is. I mean, I still, when I get back down in those areas, communicate with Mr. Frank, Mr. Mitch. That's just the way we talk when we're down there. But like I said, maybe it's a Southern thing, maybe it's not. But even at 20 years old, I have caught Ethan slipping in front of an astronaut talking to him. And I corrected him. I'll correct him if we're at a dinner. I'll correct him if we're at the dinner table. But I don't care if he's in a group of his peers or not. If I'm around, Daddy's going to make sure that it is corrected. But like I said, could be a Southern thing. But in order for us to move forward, a lot of us, I believe, have completely lost our self-respect. I go to a wonderful thing called, or every opportunity. My stroke slipped in right there, if you noticed. Every opportunity I get, I go to something called Celebrate Recovery. In some of my other videos, we've discussed Celebrate Recovery. We have it on Monday nights. And, you know, a lot of people look at Celebrate Recovery for drugs and alcohol and this and that. I don't look at it that way. I look at it as recovery. I look at it as recovery from all my surgeries I've had, recovery from my depression that I've had. So when I was completely down and depressed and wouldn't get out of bed, and this is going to be a little TMI for y'all, wouldn't take a shower for a week because I was just so down in the hole I could not get out, I had completely lost my self-respect. But there are ways that you can get unstuck. The easiest way to get your self-respect back is to start feeding yourself with positive shows, positive readings, positive videos, positive music, positive, and then work your way to positive friends. But the easiest way to really get your self-respect back is by giving respect to others. Hold the door open for someone. Offer to help them load their groceries into their car. Offer to reach on a shelf. Offer to give directions if somebody has that confused look on their face at a hospital or a grocery store that you know like the back of the hand. Do the little things and build that goal back in your heart. Focus on what you can do, and don't tell me what you can do or what you can't do. Set small, achievable goals. If we start every morning with a list of every item that we have to do during the day, most of us will look at that and either completely ignore the list and wing it or go back to bed and cry. So don't do that. Get you a list, put 2 or 3 things. I've got to do this, this, and this. Knock those out. Take those successes. Win those. Then add 2 or 3 more things. You would be amazed what you can get done at the end of a day by writing down 2 or 3 things at a time and knocking them off 2 or 3 things at a time. But here's the thing. Something's going to distract you. Something's going to happen. Something's going to stop you. But you've got to be prepared for that to happen and not just get lost. You've got to refocus. You've got to be prepared before you make that list. Okay, I know the phone's going to ring and distract me sometime today. What am I going to do to get back on task? I know I'm going to have a conversation. What am I going to do to get back on task? Prepare to get knocked down, but prepare when you're down to get back up. Prepare to do that several times. But just keep doing it. You know, these Facebook videos, I don't know if they're helping anybody or not, but if they are, feel free to leave a comment. I dig the likes. I dig the hearts. You know, if you've got tips or anything on what keeps you focused and what helps get you through your day, please let me know. Feel free to share them. You can do your own video because you never, ever know who you're going to help. But for those of you who don't know, I'm Drew Barrett. This channel's for you, 1,000%. So if there's something you're struggling with or you'd like me to talk about, let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for taking your time out of your day to watch. And please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. There'll be a little subscribe button. It's going to be right, where's my camera? It's going to be right there, little round button. And my next video on YouTube will actually pop up over here. And the really cool thing is, you can always feel free to share anything I post. But check me out on Facebook, check me out on Twitter. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And here's a new thing I'm doing. There's going to be a little bubble right here pop up on YouTube. And that's Braxton Hunter's channel. I should call him Dr. Braxton Hunter, because he is. He's actually working on his 2nd doctorate. He's a dear, dear, dear friend of mine. He's the president of Trinity College, Trinity Bible College, and he is a nationally acclaimed author and debates. He debates with atheists and agnostics and just anybody that'll debate him on a national and international scale. He's just got back from Canada recently. He was in Ireland recently. He's a young guy. He's about 10 years younger than me, but he really knows his stuff, and he's a dear, dear friend. So please check out his little bubble. It's going to pop up here on YouTube. But guys, if you're sitting there and thinking nobody loves you and you're just having the worst day ever, let me tell you one thing, that I love you. And if you'll give me the opportunity, I'll tell you about somebody that loves us all. Deuces.